What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, have we got some weird stuff coming around. I adore this. EB-02 is on the way. We have just entered the reveal cycle for EB-02. I showed you a video the other day where I showed you the Luffy leader and the Nami and the Zoro. And I told you, hey, EB-02 is coming. These are the first reveals. This is looking pretty cool, and it is. And I'm excited for EB-02. Well, we've had a group of cards is probably the best way to describe it. We've had a group of cards that have gone and been revealed. And oh my word, are these special and different and weird. Some people are going to look at these and they're going to absolutely love them. Some people are probably going to look at these and absolutely hate them. Other people are going to take a while to decide exactly how they fall. So let's have a look at the one, which is the front of the booster pack. We've got a set of 6 cards here. I don't think it's going to surprise anyone to learn that one for each color. Like, obviously, set of 6 cards, all being revealed at the same time. 1 card for each color. That makes perfect sense. And we've got a set of them, and they all look a little bit like this. And like on the front of the pack. And I'm in. They look weird. They look like prototype cards. Because it's not just the fact that we've got the kind of sketch drawing. I've heard people call it sketch art. I've heard, a bunch of different ways. They're basically like storyboards. Essentially, it's incomplete animation art. Remember the whole point, the whole conceit of EB-02 is that it is a set to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the anime. So having these kind of cards celebrating the anime makes absolute perfect sense. I adore these. And the thing is, as I've told you guys on this channel a lot, I'm not a big anime dude. I love the manga. I've read the manga. I'm rereading the manga. I adore the manga. The anime I am watching extremely slowly with my children. We're basically at the Kuro fight. So look, I'm not a big anime dude, but I appreciate that these are different and weird and fun, and they are themed. And that's what I want from these special sets. I want my special sets to have a clear theme, a strong theme, because otherwise, why not just make it a regular set? If this was going to be a regular set, just make the set OP11 or OP12 or OP13 or something like that. The whole point of this is they are theming it after the anime, and this makes me very, very happy. I love this, and I really hope we see more of this. They're just regular rare cards. They've all got the rarity of rare. They're not going to be particularly hard to pull or anything like that. They just look cool. There is another card we can look at in a second if we get a minute, but first I think we probably need to have a little bit of a chat about what these actually do. Well, we got 6 different colors, and they all do the same thing. So starting off here is the red, the green, and the blue, just because it makes sense to do kind of those colors together. And the red, you've clearly got Yamato and the whole Land of Wano thing going on, which is kind of cool. The green here, we've got Luffy spinning hat on his finger, which is, again, the artwork from the front of the pack. And the blue here, which we can see is literally called Hope because it's in English. We've got Sanji, honestly looking a little bit hopeful. And the thing is, all of these cards do the exact same thing. We've just got one version for each different color. This is not unusual in Bandai card games. We've seen this in Digimon a bunch, for instance. And what they do is we've got a 2-cost card of the relevant color. And we've got main, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal a 4-cost or higher card, add it to your hand, and then put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order you like. And then as a trigger, you activate the main. So it does the same thing as a main as it does as a trigger. As a side note, I really want to just give props to the card designers here. Because not only have they gone and shown us unfinished artwork in the anime, and I don't say that as a negative, I think it's really cool. I love the style here. But because they've given us unfinished artwork from the anime as the artwork, it looks like they've given us an unfinished card. The color wheel is just kind of scribbled in but not fully colored. The circles around things like the trigger and the 2-cost are not kind of neat, complete circles. They look more scribbled. They've not really filled in the border of the card properly. They've clearly made a conscious choice to make the cards look like prototype cards. And this is what I meant a minute ago. They look like playtesting cards. I've seen a bunch of cards like this in the past several years of many games, and this is generally what we see from testing cards. Although honestly, a lot of the time playtesting cards actually have just like generic printed artwork because they never see the light of day. But that's not the point. The point here is that they've not just given us the anime artwork, they've also given us a real themed card that looks like it should, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. Looking at the other three, I suppose we probably should go there. So the purple one that we've got here, it's called Brand New World, another one with an English name, and we've got a race going on, ladies and gentlemen. We've got that race going on. Leafy's really going for it. This makes me happy. We've got all the Straw Hat crew kind of passing out after what looks like a fairly hearty meal. And finishing off in yellow, we've got the Egghead Island arc, which this is probably my favourite of them. It's just all of them kind of walking in their Egghead Island gear. It makes me very happy. So, yeah, I just think these are cool. So as for the actual card itself, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, find a 4-cost, whack it in your hand. Love it. And, it's not for every deck. So, I mean, the low-hanging fruit obvious answer here is Doflamingo decks, which are very, very good in Japan right now. The Doflamingo is a top deck. And the thing is, Doflamingo, there is a pretty strong argument that this is not really what you're looking for. Because, of course, your Doflamingo leader, it's got that skill whereby you look at the top card of your deck, and if it is a 4-cost or less 7 Warlord of the Sea, you can play it rested. But that's a deck where you're playing a bunch of cards to try and manipulate the top of your deck to make sure that there is a 4-cost there. And don't get me wrong, there will be a bunch of 4-costs in your deck, because that's how Doflamingo works, and you'll be able to search it out using the relevant card here, but you really want to leave them on top of your deck and then go and actually play them out. So this isn't a card which I really think is good there. But there's plenty of other decks here where you are desperately searching for the 4-cost or above. And look, I'm not saying you're going to play them in these decks. Cannot be clearer about that. But let's take, for instance, one of the best decks around at the moment over in Japan are your Marshall D. Teach decks. Really good decks. Well, your 10-cost Marshall D. Teach is a huge card in that deck. So maybe it's worth playing that for this. Buggy decks. Again, your 10-cost Buggy is a huge card in that particular deck. So being able to play this would be good. I mean, you're carrying on Shanks. The big Shanks is a big card in that deck. So having it here as an option would be very, very good. And that's kind of my point here. I'm not saying you have to play it in these decks. I'm not saying that for a second. What I am saying is that if you've got a deck which is really reliant on these big cards, maybe something like this to help you search it out would be an excellent idea. That's the elevator pitch here. And I'm not saying you won't play it in a deck like Doflamingo. I'm just saying a deck like Doflamingo is going to play a bunch of 4-cost, and yeah, they're searchable with this, but really that's a deck where you want to leave them on top and play them for free with Doflamingo. Whereas a deck like Marshall D. Teach, you are going to be digging because you need this Blackbeard on the right turn to turn off your opponent's skills, and that's where we're going with this. And obviously any deck that's primarily playing cheap characters is not going to love this. I think this is actually a very interesting card indeed. And we've got one for each type. But we have a Gaimon here as well. We should probably have a chat about Gaimon. But again, look at the artwork here. This is an anime art. And if you look at the anime credit, key animation, Kenji Yokoyama. Now, I'm not saying that this is a still from the anime. I don't know the anime well enough, and I know sometimes they don't. But I'm saying it is anime-style art. That's the hook of the set. All right? That's where we're going with this. If you love the anime style, you're going to adore this set. If you don't, you're probably not going to love it. What we got from Gaimon here, 1 cost, 1,000 power, counter plus 1,000, blocker. But if you've got Sarfunkel in play, you gain blocker. Now, this is really interesting to me because obviously Sarfunkel is a character we've not seen yet. This is not a character that's had a card in the One Piece TCG. I think we can say, and I did get the image, by the way, from onepiece.fandom.com, because we don't have a card of Sarfunkel for me to use as an example here. So I can't tell you how good this is going to be until we see Sarfunkel, and we haven't seen that yet. So, and I've gone and checked on the Japanese card list and all of that. There's definitely one coming. So I'm not actually going to tell you very much about this, because I don't think that's a great idea, because I can't really tell you very much. I want to tell you that it's here, and I want to tell you that it confirms 100% that we are going to be getting a Sarfunkel card coming in EB-02. We have to be, or this card makes no sense. But we can analyze it properly when we can see the cards as a pair. One-cost blockers I am generally all in favor of, but this isn't a real one-cost blocker. This is a one-cost blocker if you have another card in play. Do you want to play it? How much is it to play, etc.? These are all completely valid questions to which we do not have answers. So all I'm going to tell you for the time being is maybe this is going to be amazing as a one-cost blocking option in some decks. Yay! But for now, this is a hold your horses kind of deal. I, for one, am loving these sketch art or whatever you want to call them, but I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.